Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Toilets to Titles. It is Thursday night. We are still in the midst of our NFL free agency week. We're doing an episode every single night, and it's been going great. We've been doing this since Sunday. George has done it a few times with me already, and we're going straight through at least until tomorrow night. Possibly after that, if we get more breaking news like Saturday and Sunday, big juicy breaking news. But we're going straight through until Friday night, every single night, 8 until 8:30. George, how's it going, my friend?
Man, it is going great. I'm repping the squad tonight. Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Free agency. It's been a fun free agent process. It's like I said on I think Sunday night we did a little teaser episode, and free agency honestly is my favorite time of the year. I just absolutely love this time of year. So much going on, so many teams making moves. Everybody still in it to win it. There's nobody eliminated from the playoffs. Everybody has hope right now. It's just great time of the year.
Oh, I agree, man. I have to say, I do love free agency. Still, for me, my favorite time is NFL draft. That is my favorite. I love draft night. That Thursday night, round one, 8 o'clock. We're getting ready for the first pick. I love it, man. Love it. But it's an exciting time. So many players on the move, and we're going to get into that news. And we're going to keep this a brief episode because we do have our on the clock episode tonight, starting at 8:30 p.m. sharp. So I was instructed to make sure that we are done with the show no later than 8:29:59. So that is going to happen. Let me get the bells and whistles out of the way. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Give us that 5-star Apple review because we deserve it. Oh yes, we do. Where you can find the show: Apple Podcast, YouTube, Facebook, Podbean, Spotify. Our beautiful, wonderful website, toiletsandtitles.com, has all of our videos and articles. We pump out stuff, material, football content all the time. We cover fantasy football. That's our original bread and butter. NFL football, NFL draft content. We're just pumping that stuff out all the time. And we also do college football. But that's mostly being handled by our new sister network, the CFB Nation. So if you go to @the CFB Nation, that's also there. You'll find them on YouTube as the CFB Nation. They handle most of the college stuff. And then once those players graduate to the NFL, they're ours. Here are Toilets to Titles. Patreon.com/Toilets to Titles. If you go there, you can learn how you can further support the show. I want to give a hearty thank you so much to all of our current Patreon members, supporters. Again, we really appreciate you appreciating us. Thank you so much to everybody. And last but not least, Gilded is where we have the Gilded app is where we have our own private Toilets to Titles chat. So if you become a subscriber and if you subscribe to the network, we can get you in a Gilded chat. And we're always talking football on there. It's a lot of fun. Many of our subscribers to our channel are in the Gilded chat with us, and it's a fun time. We're just dozens, if not hundreds of people just talking football. If you have any questions in there in terms of like fantasy, when we're in season, you'll get a bunch of responses. So check it out. We'd be happy to have you in there with us. And anyway, let's get to the news. All right, so George, let's tee this off. Players on the move. On the move. All right, my friend. You want to read, or do you want me to read?
I'll start with. I feel like because I'm repping. Ooh, almost hit my laptop there.
Careful.
Logo. I guess I'll start with the first one.
Go for it. The most important one.
It's not earth-shattering. It's not a big signing by any stretch of the imagination. But the Dolphins and offensive lineman Dan Freeney have come to terms. So Dan Freeney he was a 4-year starting offensive lineman for the Chargers. He played a backup role for the Jets for the last couple of years, and now he's on the move down to South Beach in Miami. Mike White made a phone call and said, come on down to South Beach. The weather's great. And Dan Freeney said, Mike, I got you. Mike effing White, I got you.
You know what? I hear there's rumors around on the internets that Dan Freeney has a really great mustache. Is that true?
So not only does he has a phenomenal mustache. Let me. It's not a great mustache. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Like a
Uh,
work of art.
it actually plays. His mustache is, like I said, it's phenomenal, but it plays second fiddle to his mullet. Um, and what one of our own, Nate, he wants me to shave my mustache to make sure that, or to look like Dan Freeney's. And I told him he's got a better chance of me growing out a mullet than shaving this glory. Like it's
Well, you
a
you could
beautiful
get Freeney's. You know what? I like that idea. And if you do it, if you grow the mustache out, you have to get yourself a Freeney. Is it Freeney or Feeney?
beanie.
It's Feeney. You have to get yourself a Feeney jersey.
I might get a jersey just to get a jersey,
Hmm.
but I'm not. No, I'm not sure. I'm not growing that mustache.
Chris's videos is chiming in. He say George Reed speaking facts. You
Thank you.
misspelled facts though, Chris's videos. Facts we all know is spelled FAX. Uh, all right, so let's move on. Steelers sign Landon Roberts. At least
Yep.
that's how I think it's pronounced. Landon Roberts.
Yep. It's Elandon Roberts. He was a linebacker for the Dolphins for the last 2 years. Very underrated. He's a very good player.
Hmm.
I was actually hoping Miami re-signed him, but he went from an undrafted free agent to playing for a few years, starting for the Miami Dolphins, playing a very important role for us. And now he's gone to the Steelers.
Yep. Yeah. Steelers. Listen, Steelers know how they're never going to let that defense weaken, and they're always stocking up on defensive linemen and linebackers. So, not surprised by that. Then you had the Bucks sign Chase Edmonds. The Buccaneers signed Chase Edmonds to a 1 year deal. Wide receiver Braxton Berrios to the Dolphins on a 1 year deal. You know what? I knew he went somewhere today, and it was actually someone I was kind of hoping the Giants would pick up. They've made a few signings, which we'll get to later. But I like that guy. And I
Yep.
think that's kind of going to be a sneaky signing. Really good special teams player. And I think he's got value as wide receiver depth. I like that dude.
So he for the Dolphins, he'll be like our wide receiver 4/wide receiver 5.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but the important thing is he's a phenomenal special teams punt return and kickoff return. Like he's
Yes.
phenomenal, and that's the biggest role he'll play for the Dolphins. So that's another one that Mike White called up and said, "Hey Braxton, I know you went to college at the University of Miami. Why don't you come down to the Miami Dolphins and play special teams for us now?" And Braxton said, "I got you," and he came too.
Yeah, listen, I was hoping the Giants would actually sign him. I like that guy a lot. And yeah, he's a phenomenal special teams player. We needed that on our team. Heck, I love our head coach, but he made the really poor decision of putting Adoree Jackson back there as a punt returner for a few games. Got injured, missed like 6 games with a knee injury. Thank God he didn't miss the rest of the season. But you don't do that. That's why you've got players like Braxton Berrios. And I really wanted him. Good safe player, like you said, good wide receiver depth, like wide receiver 4 or 5, whatever. He's I would have loved that guy on the team. So good signing. Also, George, Chris's video says advice for you. He says, hey George, how about you sign free agent Miles Jack now?
I don't know if we'll sign Miles Jack, to be honest. Listen, he's only 27 years old. He was a cap casualty. They only cut him because they could save $8 million against the cap by cutting him. So it's not like they cut him
Yeah.
because he wasn't a good player. They cut him to save some money.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think he's a fit for the system Miami wants to run. I like Miles Jack.
Hmm.
He's a good utility player, but I don't think he's somebody that Miami is going to be interested in signing.
They could move on. They could move on.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to one of the biggest signings of the day, what we all cared about, my New York Giants. Wide receiver Paris Campbell goes to the Giants on a 1 year deal. I like the parameters of the deal, that it was basically like a 3.5 million base, and it can go up to 7 million with incentives, I believe something like that. But for a 1 year deal, a speedy guy like Paris Campbell, he's always injured. I get it, but and that's like the history of the Giants wide receiving core for the past 5 years. They're nothing but injuries. But you know what? I gotta say, in my mind, I'm like, that was a pretty good deal, a 3.5 million for 1 year. And hey, you know what? If he actually reaches that $7 million, it means he's having a really good year. So, but if he gets injured, he can just join the club with the rest of the Giants wide receivers. He'll have plenty of company, I'm sure, at some point this year. Graham Glasgow back to the Lions on a 1-year deal worth $4.5 million. Andrew Billings signs with the Bears, Chris's Videos Bears, on a 1-year deal worth $3.5 million. Gardner Minshew, I love that guy, Gardner Minshew. He signs with the Colts. I'd always love to have that guy as a backup quarterback. He's a gamer. I like that dude a lot. And the
So,
Bears. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
do you know if the Colts cut Matt Ryan yet? Because I heard rumors that they were going to, but I don't know if they actually cut him.
I thought they, and listen, I could be wrong. I thought they did, and they ate the $12 million that they were going to have to pay him $12 million no matter what. Apparently, that was in his contract.
Yeah.
I thought they had cut him. Maybe I'm wrong. So I don't know what else the parameter of the deal, like the rest of his contract, like is it 12 million? He gets $12 million no matter what, even if he's not on the team. But I'm wondering, like, were they going to pay him more if he made the roster? Like, did they want to keep him as a backup? And maybe they were going to have to, like, pay him a lot more to keep him as the backup. My point being that for $12 million, if it was only going to be $12 million, which it probably wasn't going to be, if it was only going to be $12 million and you had to pay him, you could always keep him as a backup.
Do you know if they have any other quarterbacks on their roster, just off the top of your head?
Do they still have that Ellinger kid?
Okay, so no. The answer is no.
Yeah, the answer is no. Chris's video said they did. So, Chris, when you say Chris's videos, when you say they did, you mean that they did cut him? Okay.
Talking about cutting Matt Ryan. So,
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, I assumed they were going to draft a quarterback in the draft, but yeah. I still that signing of Gardner Minshew. He could play. Listen, he's not somebody you want to trust 17 games to throughout the season, but like to bring in a rookie quarterback and let them learn a little bit from him, like that's a great signing. I like it.
I love it. I like Gardner. I think you can roll with a bunch of games with Gardner Minshew. I really like it a lot. And Chris's videos made a very good observation before, and I guess we're kind of gonna get into it a little bit now. Chris asks, why are the Bears signing all the Panthers? Well, you know what? That's a great observation. But Chris, they're signing good Panthers. Like these guys, I thought Walker, who we're going to get to right now. Oh, actually, well, they signed Dante Foreman, who I love. I love that signing. That's a great signing.
Yeah, with them losing David Montgomery, and only having Khalil Herbert back there. Like, I love the fact that they're bringing in Deonta Foreman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. And they signed, and I'm not sure if we have this on our document, but I was aware of this, that they did sign PJ Walker. He's a backup quarterback, and he's athletic. He actually played okay last year for a backup. I thought he played okay for a backup on a team that had already shipped off its best player in Christian McCaffrey. I thought Walker played pretty well, considering the circumstances.
The one thing I was looking for the tweet, and I can't find it right now. But I believe the Carolina Panthers have signed the leading running back from or the Chicago Bears rather have signed the wide receiver 1 from the Panthers last year. I think the RB2 and the QB3. And I'm almost convinced that what's happening is the Panthers are getting ready to get relegated to the USFL. And so all the good players on their team have to go to Chicago. And that's what's happening.
You could be right.
That's my theory. Panthers are getting
I like it. It's a working theory. I like it.
Yes.
I like it. But so listen. Oh, go ahead, George.
It was a tweet from Field Yates. I want to give the guy credit. I don't know who this Field Yates guy is. He thinks he's special. I don't know. But the Bears have added the Panthers' leading receiver, DJ Moore, leading rusher, Devonta Foreman, and third leading passer in PJ Walker from last season. So it was the one wide receiver, the number 1 running back, and their QB3. And like I said, they're getting ready to get relegated to the USFL. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, we have to do that boardroom bet. I have to put it up. Was the board bet with me and Chris's videos? We are on the same page that the Panthers are going to take Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
And you say not.
Not happening. They're not trading. They're not trading the literal farm for a a
I
quarterback
hear you.
ceiling, but very high bust potential as well.
Oh yeah, I know. I hear you, man. But it just to me, it has that it has that smell. It has that feel about it. I hear you. I'm not what you're saying makes total sense, George,
Yeah,
and that's why originally I was like, there's no. I was thinking to myself, there's no way they would be trading up to get Richardson, right? And it probably
yeah.
took me like 2 days where I'm like, crap, I think they actually might be doing that. And then last night, Chris's videos and I were chatting about it. We are both on the same page. I'm like. I think actually, I think that's going to be what they're going to do. But the bet is going to be on the board. Me and Chris's videos versus George.
I was gonna
All
say we
right,
got Chris on that board too. So I think he's
absolutely.
not only has he been our number one fan, he's the first fan on the toilet board.
That's right. He's going to be the first. It's always just been Toilets and Titles members, us compadres, putting
Yeah.
bets up on the board. But Chris's videos, you're going to make history. You're going to be the first non-Toilets and Titled member who's going to have a bet on our big board behind the scenes. All right, so moving along, we got Robert Tunyon, longtime tight end for the Packers, signs with the Chicago Bears. Nice move there. Tristan Hill to the Browns. Nick, you want to pronounce this last name here? Nick Westbrook Ekine, is
Nick
that it?
Westbrook Kenai. And
Okay.
yeah, Nick Westbrook Kenai. I actually knew this one. He's back
Okay.
on a 1 year deal.
Yeah, I'd seen the name before plenty of times in print. I never heard it pronounced, so I never really paid attention because he's on the Titans and they have nothing to do with my Giants. So I never had any reason to pay attention to him. Okay, so let's move on to re-signings. George, you want to read those?
Yeah.
Like the
So
handful that we got?
these are a couple of guys we've noticed that are bigger names that are going back to the teams that they're currently on. First one is quarterback Darius Slay. Rumors that he was going to be cut, and now the
Yeah,
rumors are working with Philly on a new deal. So after all the thought that Philly was losing all of their key components from last year's team that ended up going to the Super Bowl, it's not true. They've lost a few. Don't get me wrong, but they're bringing a lot of their guys back. They're making
manageable. Manageable. The guys they lost.
yeah. We already talked about Nick Westbrook Akini. He's going back to Tennessee in a 1 year deal. Your boy, Joe, I know you were excited about this.
Hmm.
Darius Slayton reportedly signs 1 year deal to stay with the Giants.
Yeah,
So you were excited
I
about that.
I was psyched. Listen, they need to upgrade that wide receiving core in a big way, but I like having him back. I knew he's probably not going to be expensive, especially like a 1 year deal. I'm like, you know what? The guy's got talent. If we had a rocking and rolling wide receiving core, then he could be a wide receiver 4 and he'd be a really good one. I'd even like him as a wide receiver 3. I think he's very
Yeah.
safe, but I don't want to subtract him just because we don't have a legit wide receiver 1. I want to build off of the Darius Slaytons that we have, and the Isaiah Hodgins that we have. So
Uh,
anyway,
and here we got a couple of guys that they restructured their contracts. Minka Fitzpatrick, excuse me. This is a very Dolphin Giants oriented review show. I just want to point that out because Minka Fitzpatrick was actually drafted by the Dolphins and then traded to the
yeah,
Steelers.
yeah,
So
I remember that.
Minka
That was
Fitz,
shocking.
yeah, exactly. And we're not doing it intentionally, by the way. Minka Fitzpatrick, he restructured his contract with the Steelers. And then the Vikings and Harrison Smith have come to an agreement to rework his deal as well, giving them some cap relief as well.
Yeah, good to everyone. There's been a lot of that this year, like a lot of first of all, I've been kind of like blown away by how mild the contract numbers have been this year. And then number two, there's been a lot of restructuring of contracts. But you know what? We've got, I think, a new big deal kicking in next year. I forgot what it is. Is it with DraftKings?
I think so.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of money coming in. So next year, you're going to see the salary cap go up substantially. That's why you probably have a lot of these contracts being reworked, pushing money out to next year and the year after that.
I love how the NFL can partner with like a company like DraftKings for betting,
I know, right?
allow their players to participate.
How can like Congress? I would assume Congress has got to be looking into that, but we'll see what happens.
I understand. Like somebody's going to point out, oh yeah, that's because they don't want the games rigged. Like I get that. Okay, like I'm not
Mhm.
encouraging players to go out and bet
Right.
on bet against their team. I just find it funny because like even the employees of the league are not allowed, like, not the players, but
Yeah.
like popcorn guy is not allowed to go on DraftKings and bet. The people
Oh,
who work in
jeez.
the front office who don't ever see anybody on the NFL teams, the secretary, she's not allowed to partake in DraftKings, even though they're an official sponsor of the NFL. Like, it's not the players I'm talking about. It's literally
Yeah.
is paid for by the NFL or associated with these teams. The parking attendant, when you attend a home game, is not allowed to partake in the DraftKings. They're just not. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's messed up. Anyway,
Yeah.
real quick,
I
we have
think.
cuts. Titans cut linebacker Bud Dupree. Chris's videos pointed out Miles Jackson was cut, or Miles Jack rather was cut. One re-sign player that was on the move that we missed, and I don't think it's a huge one, but it's something that when it was announced, my eyebrow went whoop, just a little bit. It was James Robinson being signed by the New England Patriots.
Oh, that's right. Oh, he went to the Patriots. Okay, I knew he was signed. Okay, so it was the
Yes,
Patriots. That's right.
that should signal the end of Damian Harris in New England. He was a unrestricted free agent. I don't see them bringing Damian Harris back. And while, yes, I agree, anybody wants to point out, like after really week 4 last year, James Robinson was garbage. He is coming off an ACL. We've seen how long, or not an ACL, an Achilles tear. We've seen how long Cam Akers played almost all last year, looked like garbage. There was threats that he wanted to be traded from the team. The team ended up trading Darrell Henderson. And then at the end of the year, where he was almost 2 years removed from that Achilles tear, he actually looked really, really good. So James Robinson is going to come out looking like a game next year.
Takes time, man. Saquon Barkley came back from an ACL, and he played the entire 2021 season. Didn't look like himself at all, and then last year he looked like rookie Saquon Barkley. So it does take time coming back from an ACL.
And this is an Achilles tear, so it's even.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a torn ACL. Okay,
no,
jeez.
Achilles tear, but just it's not something like I said. It's not like I think James Robinson is this world-beating running back who's going to go out and light it up for the Patriots. I don't believe that, but it is something just to kind of keep an eye on.
If he gets back to form, man, he's got so much value.
Yeah, pre ACL or pre Achilles, he was a pretty dang good running back. So it's just something, keep in mind on. If you can get him cheap, like I think he's worth a flyer if you can get him cheap in a dynasty league.
Yeah.
A couple of
rumors, and then let's wrap it up.
I'll wrap up the
8:28.
I'll let you do closing. How's that?
Yep, go ahead.
Steelers are in talks with linebacker Bud Dupree, and I have a feeling Nino put this on there because nobody really cares. Taylor Rapp and Bisbee Johnson are visiting the Patriots. Nobody cares about either one of those guys. Just
and do you want to answer Chris's videos questions about where you think Bijan Robinson's going to go?
Let me look up the NFL draft order, and I will tell you.
I was thinking about that the other day. I think he's going to go top 10.
Nope.
You don't think so, huh? Think maybe he goes? Nope. You don't think so?
No. I think he does go first round. I already told Coach I'm trying to sucker Coach into a top 12.
You know what? Chris's videos. I think he could go to Chicago at pick number 9. He'd be a very good friend, a very good weapon for Justin Fields.
I don't know. They've got Khalil Herbert. They just signed Donta Foreman. I don't see it.
It could very well be the Eagles too. It could be. I don't think so, Chris, but I wouldn't be shocked.
So I could see 21 if they trade Austin Eckler to the Chargers.
I can't see him falling that far. I just can't see it.
See 19 to Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of see 16 the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Even though they got Robinson back there, like I think going to Bijan would be a huge upgrade. Those are where a couple of teams I can see. I can see 28 to Cincinnati. I can see 26 Dallas Cowboys. I can see that. So, but I don't think he goes top 12.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's such a talent. I wouldn't be shocked at all. But guys, Chris's videos, our other millions of supporters out there, we got to go. It's 8:30. OTC is starting right now. George, have a good night, and I'll see you. You doing it tomorrow, or is it Dennis tomorrow?
I think it's Dennis tomorrow. If I can make it, I might join you guys. But
Cool.
right now, it's
Sounds
just
good. Sounds good, man. All right, we're out of here. On the clock starting. Everyone, tune into On the Clock. Take care. Bye.